welcome to another exciting episode of the Cross It Out Show with me, your host, Bitha. And if you look at the other episodes that I've aired, you see how very inspiring and thought-provoking conversations that we've had with all of the guests that we have had through the Cross It Out campaign tour. Our mission with Cross It Out is to educate and empower the next generation of young women about breast cancer, the health risks, and their holistic well-being. Remember, together we're crossing out the risks, the fear, and the stigma attached to breast cancer. So please join us in crossing out this risk and the fear and help us foster resilience and shape a healthier future for our youth. Like I've always been mentioning in all of our episodes, we've made so many stops. We've gone to the Eastern region, we've gone to the Ashanti region, we've gone to the Greater Accra. We're in the Greater Accra region, so it makes sense to even start from here. And of course, we've gone to the Central region. When it comes to the schools we have gone to, there are a lot, but I'll tell you more about them when we come back from this break. Welcome back. I just want to remind you that the Cross It Out campaign is proudly brought to you by Flora Tissues with support from Top Choco, Tango Prime Washing Powder, IBM Petroleum, McPhillips Foods, YFM, and High School Click. Like I said before, we went on various journeys. I mean, some of the schools, when I remember the journey that took us to get there, I believe it was all worth it. In this episode, however, we're going to be, talking about our time with the Ebenezer Senior High School. But before we even do that, did you know that early detection significantly improves survival rates? For localized breast cancer, that's like no spread outside the breast, the 5-year survival rate is about 99%. So guys, what are you waiting for? The moment you self-examine and you feel any lump, you feel anything inside there, rush to a health facility as soon as possible. I wish there was something outside of as soon as possible, but you should. Now, I'm telling you, our visit to Ebenezer Senior High School once again assembled wonderful speakers to educate the students. Our doctor, again, the young and pretty Dr. Erica Intiamwa-Mensah. She was actually with us at St. Mary's Senior High School in Accra. She did her thing. She always does her thing. She detailed what breast cancer is, the cause, the symptoms, the prevention, and she also taught the students of Ebenezer Senior High School how to do the self-examination that I was telling you about. We also got some very inspiring pep talk from Dela Siade. She's an actress, she's an entrepreneur, she's a content creator, and we love her. And we got some motivation from Nana Lexus, General Manager for McPhillips Foods. Can we look at the first video from Dr. Erica?
So there aren't any direct causes of breast cancer, okay? There is nothing that you say, this is a cause of breast cancer. But there are several things that you can do that will increase the risk of you having breast cancer. Do you understand that? That there is no cause. So people have tattoos on their breast, they don't have breast cancer. A cause means if you do this, this is what results. Do you understand? Yes. But there is no direct cause of breast cancer. However, we have risk factors. The risk factors means that it gives you a higher chance, or you stand a higher chance of having breast cancer when you do those things or when those things happen to you. There are some of these risk factors, you can do something about it, and there are some that you cannot do anything about it. Now, number one is genetics. If you have a mother, a sister, an auntie, a close relative that has breast cancer, you are at a higher chance of also having it. But can you do anything about genetics? No, you were born the way you were born. Now, there are other things that have to do with hormones. If you menstruate at an early age, okay, some people menstruate at 8 years, at 7 years, at 9 years, if you menstruate at an early age, or if you give birth to your first child at a later age, or you have menopause at a later age, you do not breastfeed. These are some risk factors that make you more predisposed to getting breast cancer. Because some of the cancer cells like a hormone called estrogen. You said there are science students here, so we know what estrogen is, right? Yes. So if you menstruate early, it means that this hormone is working in your lifetime for a long time. If you don't get to menopause early, it means that this hormone is also working in your body for a very long time. When you breastfeed and when you get pregnant as well, there is some hormone play. So estrogen alone doesn't work totally on your body. So if you menstruate early, you have menopause at a later age, some mothers do not breastfeed, or you do not have a lot of children, or your first child is, you give birth to your first child at a later age. These are some of the risk factors, as well as some contraceptives. So if you want to do any contraceptive, you go to the hospital, you speak to the doctor, and then they help you out with it. I always say that you should know your breast. Repeat after me, know your breast. Yes. If you know your breast, if there is any change in your breast, you'll be able to notice it, right? Some of the changes start very small. So if you do not know your breast very well, you will not be able to pick it up early, and you end up picking it up at later stages, okay? So first of all, if you stand in front of the mirror and you notice any change in the coloration and the rest of your breast, it's something that you should go and see the doctor immediately, okay? If you feel the breast and you feel a lump, you have to go and see the doctor. It doesn't necessarily mean you have breast cancer, but it means that you have a problem with the breast, so you have to go and see the doctor, okay? As she rightly said, on top of the breast can sometimes look like an orange peel. There are dots all over it, like an orange. That is also a sign of breast cancer. Sometimes the nipple will have some bloody discharge on it, coming out of it, sorry. You see that some blood is coming out of the nipple. That is also another sign, all right? And then you can also have an ulcer, sores on the breast is also another sign of breast cancer. But mostly in the beginning stages or earlier on, you wouldn't notice any sign or symptom. It happens like that. And it's only at the later stages where the cancer has gone far. That's when you start seeing the blood coming from the nipple, the ulcer, it's looking like an orange peel, or even feeling a lump, okay?
Dr. Erica has my heart. Dr. Erica Intianwa Mensa has my heart. Everything she said at Ebenezer Senior High School was very insightful. But she wasn't the only person that spoke, so let's see other videos from our speakers.
I touched it and I realized that I had 2 lumps. I quickly went to my my house mistress, and went to call. Our time we didn't have phone. We are very fortunate. I didn't have a phone, so I had to go to the form mistress to go and call my mom and tell her this is what has happened. The school gave me a letter and I took it to a hospital. When I went, the doctor examined me and told me that it was nothing. So, all this is to tell you that after a doctor comes and tells you what you are supposed to do and what you are supposed to look out for, your health is very important. And you should take this thing that we are doing here very seriously, okay? Now, the moment you find anything abnormal about your breast, whether it is looking like an orange or what it is, just go straight. If you can't go to the hospital by yourself, tell your parents, let them take you to go get yourself examined, because early detection saves life. Early what? Early detection saves. Say it after me. Early. Again. So if you don't leave here with anything at all, just put it in your mind. Let it stick that early detection does what? Because you don't want to get to stage 4 so that you go and do chemo and you do what. Make sure you get checked when you find anything abnormal, okay? So when I went to the doctor, they told me that there is nothing wrong and that I don't have to be afraid of breast cancer, okay? So I want to leave you with this one thing. When you leave this room, know that you matter, okay? You will leave here. Some of the Form 1s that are here, the Form 2s, the Form 3s, you all write WASI and you will leave here. Know that you matter. Nobody can ever tell you what you are not. You know who you are and you know what you are. Make sure you follow your dreams. Do not be confined by the area that you are in.
Your life, at every point that you find it, must have a definition for you. There are people here who want to become pastors, those who want to become doctors, those who want to become like some of us seated here, right? The decision to become whoever you want to become starts from here. And it's about paying attention to every part of your life. We have 12 areas of your life that I want you today. I know you don't have books here, but I want you to pay attention to. Your health, which is the key thing that brought us here. That is the breast. When you are in certain moments and you are doing things with your girlfriends, care about their health as well. As much as they are caring about your health, you also care about their health. So you reciprocate it. You don't mash it up. The other thing I want to speak about is your faith. Wherever you find it is what you believe that makes you. If you don't believe anything, it does not make you. If you believe you are the best dancer for your class, you will become the best dancer. When you believe something, you begin to walk into it. You begin to act it. You begin to practice it. And so your faith is important. Your emotions play a very big role in your life. Some of the girls, you see that every month their mood goes away. It becomes a bit breezy, right? And it's because emotions are playing with them. And so your emotional health is equally important to me. If you don't care about it, do it for me. When you find yourself in crisis, when you think there's something bothering you and you need someone to talk about it, find a reliable adult and speak to that person. When you are done, we don't end there. Look at your career. My dream to speak to young people like you began from secondary school. I was informed too when I had this dream that in the next 20 years, I want to be speaking to young people because people spoke to me and it transformed my life. And so when I began walking the journey, when I had faith, when I knew that I wanted to grow and be a role model to others, I lived my life well. If I am not healthy, I can't come and speak with you. If I don't have knowledge, I can't come and speak with you. And so my career became my priority. Those of you here who are not learning, the girls, those at the back who are allowing to be fundled and all that stuff, go ahead with it. It is fine. But what is not fine is that in the next 10 years, I will see that you have failed. That I will see that your friend is failing and you cannot correct your friend. It is not okay for me. You are the next generation. In fact, you are the generation. And so let your career be important to you.
And now, you can see that we had fun. But our very own, a woman with enough body. Hey, oh yeah, nice baby. Our very own Daphne Flashley, TV presenter and host, is joining us in the studio today. Hi, Daphne.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. So usually I'm the one that asks how are you doing. Now you're asking me. I feel very special. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing good too.
I'm very well,
How was the morning show?
Morning show was fine. Fire as usual.
What is that one thing that is currently being talked about in the entertainment world?
Drake.
Drake.
So Drake is taking Kendrick Lamar, Universal Music Group, and Spotify.
I think I saw. Yes, he's suing them
because he's emotional. I said he's emotional. If you're not emotional,
they not like us. Yes, I think I saw that story.
So he claims that they are intentionally pushing the song so much. That's why it got so much views and listeners on Spotify, and so he's doing his thing.
Interesting. I like that you're wearing green and then the background is pink because it reminds me of Wicked. Green and pink goes well together.
Exactly.
Yes, and I've already seen it at the Silver Best Cinema, so Charlie.
Exactly.
I love it. If you haven't seen it, please go and see it, okay? But Daphne, you joined the Cross It Out campaign tour. You joined us take away the fact that you're a host at MX24, you help champion the cause. What was that motivation for you to join this? Because to each their own. Some people can say, you're doing it. I don't believe in that. I don't have the time for that. But what was the motivation for you?
Personally, I've had a scare, a breast cancer scare. I don't think most people have really heard about this story, but it was a scare. I was very young. I remember I experienced painful lump. I went to the hospital and they said it was nothing. But it became, I got to realize the lump when I had people who came to the school to talk about breast cancer. I went to check. I saw a lump. I didn't care. You see the way you were saying,
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yes.
Me, my own was not.
Your own was as wrong as possible.
Exactly. I didn't care till it became very painful. Went to the hospital and the doctor said it was nothing. It was just a normal lump and it was painful. So they did the MRI and everything. It was nothing. So that saved me. To God be the glory that me sitting there and not caring didn't go anywhere. So I
can imagine
exactly
the emotional and mental torture you were going
See,
through.
let me tell you. Let me tell you. So, yeah, I mean, and then also joining the company during the when it had already commenced. I was like, listen, I got to be there.
You gotta be a part.
Yeah. So my first show was KNUST. Gladly, I was also. I also, you know, the thing I do after the show, I am empowered to, you know.
Yes, the pledge.
The pledge. I went to do that, and then since then, it's been amazing. But let's take it to Ebenezer. That was the first time I tried to be Bitha for a day.
Yes,
and
unfortunately, for those that didn't know, that day I had conflicting work.
Yeah.
So I couldn't come to Ebenezer Senior High School. I mean, we are presenters, so sometimes they have to divide the responsibility. And then, please continue. I'm not even going to continue.
I tried to be the Bitha in a day, and my God help me. I went home with lost my voice.
My voice was gone. Your waist was aching.
Because they make me sway. It was not swaying.
You know, sometimes because they're high school students, you need to find a way to invoke their energy and their participation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you finish and you get back when you're very, very tired. But how was it?
It was amazing. One thing I'll take from that was what Nana Alexis said. So she gave us, I think, 10 points of how to develop ourselves. Now, in developing ourselves, she gave us different areas of where we can develop ourselves, which was school, building our career, finances, family and friends, and so on. And she really inspired me. In as much as she's talking to the students, she's actually talking to me, you know. And we also had our ever beautiful doctor in Tianwa who did her thing, spoke about breast cancer. Listen, I was also doing my thing, put my hands here.
And then you were...
And you know when I was doing it, the students were shouting.
Every time we go to a school,
right,
and we have to do the self-examination, and then there's
a mixed school.
Now when I'm doing it, I tend because evidently I don't have a bosom as bountiful as Daphne's. So when I'm doing it, it looks like there's nothing there.
I mean,
But it is I see them screaming and
I know.
But I mean, I like that it is part of the energy. I mean, they're still paying attention to us. Now, you said that when you joined MX24, we had already kickstarted the campaign tour. You came along with us, and would you say that this is something that MX24 should continue to do every year?
The number of students that didn't know about breast cancer, the risks, the factors, even though breast cancer has been spoken about every October, because it's October. But seeing this Cross start from the beginning of the year till when it ended in October, the number of lives you guys have changed, we have changed, we shouldn't underestimate it. Because I quite remember some time ago, one student from Nungwa Secondary School, I was passing Nungwa, I went to buy kinky.
Definitely a passport. She was going to buy kinky.
And there's this lady, oh my God, hi, you know. And she was like, you guys came to my school, Nungwa Secondary, so you guys came to my school and you came to talk about breast cancer. And I was happy. I was really excited because I was like, wow. And in fact, the episode before this episode, you know, the St. Mary's girl, she actually explained.
Yes, I gave them high five because I was really, I was so impressed.
Now, this thing is done, I'm sure they've heard of breast cancer. But even in the mixed schools, how many of the guys even know that they can be affected with breast cancer?
I mean, you would see the shout of surprise when we told them even men can get breast cancer. They're like, hey, they're shocked. Wow.
And the mindset that is only when you're grown, you know, and at their age they can't get it. So the number of lives we've changed, the number of I don't know, generational
minds we have changed. The generational myths and
we've broken.
exactly.
Listen,
so it is amazing. So we should
need
continue
to
doing
stick
the
to it.
good work.
Do our due diligence. Hey, this word I've learned.
Do our due diligence. I know.
Is that I feel so, know.
And if we kickstart the campaign again, come next year, you're definitely going to hop on the bus.
I want to be a Bitha again.
Okay.
But I'm just putting
Okay.
It wasn't easy
Hopefully,
the
when
first-
she steps into my shoes, I'll probably be with, USAID continuing the breast cancer campaign or something. I've already started projecting.
Come here.
And you see, some London health volunteering agency will say, oh, yeah, Bitha, you know what, we like the energy. Let's carry you to a high school in London, a high school in the USA. Yeah,
that's when I'll come in.
Yes, then you come and think. Now, we will share the work and we'll do it here. But Daphne, thank you so much for coming in the studio to have this conversation with us. We really appreciate it. But guys, it has been exciting. Like Daphne mentioned before, we should continue doing this work. And in the spirit of continuing to do this work, you can join us for sponsorship, or if you want to make any inquiries, you can reach us out on the number 059-229-2746. 059-229-2746. Remember, Cross It Out is sponsored by Flora Tissues, Top Choco, Tango Prime Washing Powder, IBM Petroleum, McPhillis Foods, YFM, and High School Click. It has been an amazing 30 minutes with you. My name is Bitha. I'll see you soon.